recording this video after close of trade Monday 27th of June 2011. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we tried to break but wouldn't go. Not today. We ended up closing up 1276.75, 1.7 million contracts traded. I'll tag on my day trades. I was actually trading, I was into a position well before the open. It was about 5 a.m. Chicago time, 6 a.m. Chicago time, and I was trading off this pullback. So this is Sunday night's activity and Monday's open here on the 4,500 tip bar chart. Came into this resistance level. This was a kind of a complex correction on the way back up, and we had all kinds of kind of bearish signals here. So I took a trade here, short at 67 even, but it only got this far after the open, and I got out. Got out with 3 points. I was quite happy with that, but we refused to break down through kind of the 60s at this point here and raced away to the upside. Let me just show you on the lower time frames what that entry looked like and why the exit. On the 500 tip bar chart, you see coming into that turning point up here at kind of 67, 68, blue professional up bars, bearish divergence signals. It was a complex correction on the way up. You can see it was just batting backwards and forwards like this, and kind of initially went in my favor. Complex corrections end up with kind of trend moves in the other direction. You can see on the way down we ended up reaching a low of 1262 here, but you know, the most important thing kind of going on here was Rambo patterns, a whole series of amateur down bars, exhaustion selling. We did a double bottom here, bullish divergence, bang, and we went up. That was the bar where I got out at this one here. It was a very active bar. All of a sudden everybody just bought this kind of move up from 63 to 64. Bang, that was my signal to get out. So I was out from short at 67, out at 64 for 3, and then took some long trades kind of later on the day. When you go down to the 1500 tip bar chart, this was that high kind of in the 67s, and I've been noticing this a lot over the months, the Rambo patterns here. When Rambo patterns happen with an exhaustion bar, they're often extremely strong signals, and that just shows you that we've kind of run out of selling volume at that point, plus the move is being driven by amateurs. So a potential reversal of that amateur breakout, and then we go for a run to the upside. So that was the attempt at this kind of breakdown. Didn't work this time. I must admit, when I look at all of my kind of risk-on charts, if I look at these, so crude today actually ended up being a Rambo day kind of down here, so we're starting to turn around. So potentially, you know, the breakdown's off, particularly with this kind of Rambo pattern down here. Don't want to be doing what the amateurs are doing. Silver's looking weak. You know, we are still behind or below the support level here. Gold, same type thing, but you know, this could be professional accumulation. We could be kind of turning around. Aussie dollar had a pretty bad day, but it seems to have bounced back up a little bit, but still kind of hanging around this kind of below cyclical support here. Euro was kind of the strongest one of the day. I mean, the news is the worst for the euro, and yet it has the strongest day. So we've got a bullish divergence signal right by the zero line, you know, with cyclical support, and we're kind of you know, breaking the highs of yesterday already this morning. So, and copper. So copper here, you know, we kind of held this cyclical support here, seemingly kind of up a little bit today. So we could be going for a run to the upside from all these charts. Couple of flies in the ointment, just to point these out. So the 135-minute chart today formed an end of trend warning signal on this time frame, and I talk about trend moves in lower time frames being equivalent to cycle moves in higher time frames. So this is the trend move on the 135-minute chart, end of a trend move here. If we go to the weekly chart, which is the higher time frame equivalent chart, that's the cycle move that we're kind of you know, trying to meet here. I must admit, we're a couple of weeks away from this on the chart, so I'm surprised the low has been put in potentially there. What's playing out at the moment, though, is quite interesting. Another couple of sequences. Been talking about on the daily time frame, having this cycle turn kind of playing out here, and the lower time frame equivalent chart on that is the 45-minute chart, where we formed an end of trend move here. So what this just shows is that we've got real confluence, real congestion kind of going on. We're trying to find a little bit of a top here in the daily time frame. We're also trying to find a little bit of a bottom here on the weekly time frame. So we're stuck in between this two kind of congestion zone area. So until they get resolved, one of those trends will be kind of the dominant trend, and we end up moving in that kind of direction. My bias still is to the downside. If I look at my longer time frame tip bar charts, 40,500 tip bar chart, a lot of professional activity at the end of the day. We've got a cyclical turn just been put in there. The average trade size was actually very high up here today. Going down to the 13,500 tip bar chart, you can see all of that blue professional activity here after exhaustion buying, bearish divergence, and so on. And then the 4,500 tip bar chart, we've still got to make an end of trend warning signal on the 4,500 tip bar chart. So yeah, we've had our exhaustion buying at this point. We'll have our bearish divergence when we kind of go into that end of trend most likely. So yeah, because we did hold today, we'll have a little bit of follow through, I think, with the amateurs first thing in the morning. But then when that end of trend kind of prints on the 4,500 tip bar chart, you know, what happens at that point will be kind of critical. That's still a possibility. We could kind of go and test the lows. Anyway, I'll tag on my day trades just to show you those. But it's actually quite a nice day. If we looked at the 1500 tip bar chart, there are some really kind of nice cyclical lows being printed on this chart. You know, coming into these lows, we have blue professional bars, exhaustion selling, bang, takeoff, blue professional bars, you know, kind of bullish divergence. A little bit earlier here, we kind of take off to the upside. So I ended up doing 6 trades in all today, up 6.75, 6 3/4 points, which is a good day for me. And I'm glad I kind of saw this point and kind of jumped out right there. So anyway, too bad the warning's off for the time being. So I hope you traded well today. Okay, just gone short 67 even. And time is 5:55 a.m. Chicago time. Just coming up to midday London time. The reason for getting short, I've got this kind of short bias because on the 4500 tip bar chart we've not had exhaustion selling on the downside, and after the weekend's video I was talking about these two pullback levels being flush buying signals, kind of flushing out the buyers at this point. So we started off Sunday evening with a little bit of volatility, about a 10-point range in the first couple of hours, but we bounced back to this kind of 1270 type level into a cyclical turn on the 4500 tip bar chart, but is stopping volume profit taking patterns up here. The reason for getting short, so you know, we've not had the exhaustion selling on the downside, so you know, the swings on the better sine wave indicator on this time frame, you kind of take the swings in the direction of that kind of prevailing trend. And the pullback that we've had, if you look at the 500 tip bar chart, all the way since the Sunday evening has been this complex correction pattern where we just bat backwards and forwards between cyclical support and resistance levels. And into 69 here, you can see first of all we had exhaustion buying, blue professional bars, we kind of sell off, we're testing back up to 69, can't quite get through that resistance level, and we've got all of these bearish divergence patterns here, and we've got these kind of blue professional up bars into 69. So I think at least that's a kind of a low risk entry at kind of 67. So just hoping that we get kind of a resumption of this downtrend, but I'm trading before the open in Chicago, and to be honest, this has been quite a strong bounce. If you look at what the euro's done overnight, so the euro came down to 140.70, is now bounced back up to 142, so that's, you know, almost 1.5 cent bounce all the way back up. We're still playing around this cyclical support level, but you know, my guess is we're not going to hold here. Aussie dollar kind of broke below it earlier on today. Very bad day for the Aussie, although it's bounced up from the low of exactly 103. Crude again is weak right underneath this support area. So that's the play right now, to try and get this downswing. And if we break back down through, 58, 57, this will be game on to 52, I'd have thought. But let's see. Usual stop, usual target. I might move the target out if this thing gets going, but the stop's certainly sticking at 4 points at 71. Let's see where this goes. It's just gone 7:40 AM Chicago time. Been holding this short trade from just before 6 AM Chicago time. It's now kind of getting nicely in my favor. The pullback in an uptrend level 1500 here acted initially as a little bit of support, but what was important about this, we didn't have professional buying coming into it. You can see on the move down, the professional activity actually happened on the little kick back, and you can see the professionals on this little rise were actually getting short because the lows of those professional bars got taken out, and so that pullback level is not held. So we're still in this kind of bigger downswing on the 4500 tip bar chart. I've moved my target way out, so I've moved it to 57 at the moment, just because now my bearish bias, I'm just wondering if this is going to be one of these kind of Black Mondays. And the bearish bias would be, the trade would be short at this cyclical resistance level, keeping holding short through the initial kind of support level that comes in on 45, and coming out when it goes all the way to a pullback and end of trend on the 4500 tip bar chart. Now, I have no idea whether I'll be able to hold through that, or if that trade is going to be what we actually see. But that's what I'm actually hoping for, kind of quietly thinking that might be the kind of the trade, because once we break through these kind of lows, 56, 57 kind of lows, there's not a lot to hold us on the way down, I'd have thought. But let's wait and see. We've just had professional activity come in on the 1500, the 500 tip bar chart, so maybe we're going to see a little bit of a kickback up, but still short 67, and just waiting for the open to see how things kind of play out. Okay, market's just been open a couple of minutes. We've come back into pullback in a downtrend signal here, so caught a little bit of resistance, had a rainbow pattern, almost broke up to 85, kind of turned around, and now we're kind of broken the lows, which is kind of looking good, although it's now at a down bar, not my favorite. But also on the 1500 tip bar chart, we're now below support. So potentially we're in a downtrend on this kind of medium time frame, which would be good. I'm out at 64. So 4-3. Didn't want to go. We came back into an end of trend on the 500 tip bar chart here. And amateur down bars. Don't like rainbow patterns here with exhaustion selling. That's usually a reversal kind of sign. And then we put in a bullish divergence signal, little blue professional bar, and we just took off in the last couple of trades up to 64. Here we go. So my guess is that we're not going to go try and crack the lows at this stage. I mean, let's see. That's an extraordinary move right there. This is some kind of exhaustion move, and it kind of turns around and kind of cracks the lows. I don't know. Wouldn't have thought so at this point. So 62 might be it for this run at it. Have to wait and see when it comes back up to the 70 level. What happens if we got kind of exhaustion buying up there and we kind of turn around? Don't think this looks like a fake out move to me. It looks like a beginning of an uptrend. Yeah. Anyway, so there we go. It was worth a try. Got 3 out of it. Going to watch it and see what happens kind of next. But this is getting pretty interesting on the upside now. Just gone long 67.50, and a bit late in the game to be getting long here, but I think we're due for a trend move on the upside here. We're breaking or holding at resistance here, and we've still got a little bit of ways to go on this trend move on the 4500 tip bar chart. Exhaustion buying at this point, no bearish divergence signals yet, so just think we're going to crack on up a little bit and form a pullback and an end of trend. So let's see, long 67.50 and just out 68.50 for one. Thought it might run a little bit more. The reason for getting out now, just had a flush signal on the 500 tip bar chart. That's two kind of pro signal exits on the 1500 tip bar chart. So you know, yeah, it'll probably pop a little bit higher, maybe get to 70, I suppose. We're still not seeing a pullback to end of trend, but you know, just for me, that's time to get out after this. So see what steps up. 4 points so far. I don't know, it's possible this is exhaustion buying where reverse can go the other way. Coming up to a cyclical turn on the 4500 tip bar chart. Pretty extreme kind of buying up here. Don't know, have to wait and see. Let's see what happens after the pullback to end of trend. Long 67.50 again. And the reason for this trade is, well, we've got to make a pullback to an end of trend on the 500 tip bar chart, and coming into 67, Rambo patterns all the way in, a couple of Rambo patterns, amateur down bar here. So the amateur's just getting into this move just a fraction too early, so we're going to test back up a little bit to 69. So we'll be out at the end of trend or professional bar or something up here. Don't want to get greedy at all at these kind of highs, but when there's a little bit on offer, might as well take it. So long 67.50, it's out 67.75 for a quarter point, and didn't really want to go. Interesting. So we come up to should be an end of trend, I'd have thought, on this. No, well, it's a dirty end of trend, so pullback, second cyclical turn, or cyclical turn after a pullback, so this is a dirty end of trend. Well, that's annoying, because we're up at 71s now, and that's where the initial target on those long trades at 67.50 were. So, and I jumped out of them too early, just saw some weakness and just got out. So that pullback on the 500 tip bar chart with all these amateur down bars here, Rambo pattern here. So we had first push up that was fairly weak, and then the second one we came at those levels and did exactly the same thing, and that's when that one went. So yeah, that was poor on my part for not kind of holding. But anyway, there we go, we're up at 71.50s. And I wonder if we're going to have a runaway up day now. This whole kind of saga at the 52 kind of level getting broken, just it's too far away, 20 points away, so it's maybe not going to happen. Anyway, just kicking myself about this long trade. Never mind. Just long 71.50, and a little bit of a panic here because I think TradeStation data feed's just gone offline fractionally. The reason for getting long, we had exhaustion selling. This will be a pullback in an uptrend signal here. Blue professional bars kind of coming in, so we will have a test back up, I'd have thought. We're at 72 at the moment on my IB feed, so got to restart my data feed unless this starts shortly. So anyway, just long 71.50. A few minutes later, we're just at end of trend on the 500 tip bar chart, up at 73s, but last blue professional bar was actually on the down when we were just kind of selling off a fraction, so just trying to hang in there, and maybe it'll pop above 73 and go for more kind of blue professional bars at the highs. But just conscious that we've had bearish divergence on the 4500 tip bar chart, so anyway, still holding long. Just out at 72 even for half. And just doesn't look like it wants to pop through 73. Blue professional bars coming on the 1500 tip bar chart. And if it breaks below that, it'll be out at par, so I'd rather just take the half and just wait and see. Just gone long 72 even. Just another re-entry, and hoping it'll pop on this one. Flush signal here with support coming into probably a bit of support on the 1500 as well. Blue professional bars on the way down. So I don't know how far this market's going to go, but anyway, just long 72 even. Just out at 71 even for a 1 point loss, and couldn't get out here at this end of trend, just happened too quickly. So but what we have up here is a whole bunch of professional bars, bearish divergence, 4500 tip bar chart after exhaustion buying, potential reversal into a downtrend. It's 10:16 AM, so it's before 11 AM, so we could get a reversal day. So let's see if 70 holds. looking for the next cyclical turn here on the 500 tip bar chart, or if we break into a downtrend below 1270. Just long 1270.25, and the reason for getting long is just had exhaustion selling on the downside. 1500 tip bar chart into cyclical support was the breakout level, so we often find that resistance becomes support here on the 4500 tip bar chart. So looks like we're going to test back up, but let's see. I think this is starting to run out of steam, this uptrend, so just long 70.25. Okay, just came out at 73.25 for 3. And the reason for getting out there, we just popped a little bit higher. Just run some stops, never mind. Blue professional bar was coming in on the 500 tip bar chart. We're going a little bit exponential here now, but a cyclical turn kind of likely to come up. And what is it, 10:52 a.m. And I'm a bit tired, so I want to stop. So another 3, so that's 6 3/4 points and 6 trades, so that's not bad. Kind of a good day. Pity the short didn't kind of work out, but I'm pleased that I reversed when I saw the reversal and kind of made some money on that short trade here. Be interested to see a whole bunch of blue professional bars kind of coming in on the 500. We'll probably have one on the 15, so the right place to get out. Be interesting to see where this ends up today. So anyway, hope you traded well today.